I'm Benji Rosenzweig, and I'm here with Ari Teitel. Ari has been a friend for close to 10, 15 years now. We met through the music scene, and Ari's always been just a phenomenal musician around the Detroit music scene, and a good friend. And I think most importantly, aside from the fact that you generally know that you're one of the best guitar players in the room, you're also one of the most humble musicians in the room. So I've always appreciated our interactions, and the shows that we've done together have always been fantastic. Ari, do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I'm Ari Teitel. I'm originally from the Detroit area. And then shortly after I graduated from Michigan State, I moved down to New Orleans. So that was 2016, about 3.5 years ago. And I've been here for the last 3.5 years, playing with various groups and touring with various groups from New Orleans and traveling the world. And yeah.
So as I mentioned, you're humble. You haven't just been playing with random musicians. I mean, just in the last 6 months, you toured Europe. I saw you were playing with Ivan Neville. You did a Bill Withers tribute. I mean, you've been doing some pretty cool stuff. You got a Grammy nomination with Chawa. You've been doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
What are your I don't want to say your favorite, but what are your most like wow moments of musicians that you were playing with that you're like, I can't believe I'm playing with this person right now?
God, that's a tough one. There's so many, and especially in New Orleans, when it's like any given Monday, you can go to the Maple Leaf and see George Porter of the Meters playing. Like we're spoiled here, and I've had
Right.
the chance to sit in with him a few times. And he's even come sit in on a couple of gigs I was on, that's pretty mesmerizing because when you're playing with him, it's like, holy crap, this is that sound that I've been listening to since I was a little kid, and you're like almost engulfed in it. That's pretty like surreal. Yeah, playing with like the Dumpster Funk guys, that's always a blast. Like so Tony Hall, the bass player in Dumpster Funk, I've been fortunate enough to work in his band a little bit when he does his own shows. And Tony is just one of the funkiest people alive.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. He's played in and what people don't realize about Tony, outside in New Orleans, everyone knows, how bad of a guy he is, but really his reach in music. He recorded on Jewel's albums, on Bob Dylan's albums, and then in the jam band scene, he was a member of Dave Matthews and Friends, the Trey Anastasio band, and great guitar player, and as well as being a bass player. So knowing that he calls me to play guitar when he's an awesome guitar player himself, like
Right.
that's really an honor. And he's really hard on guitar. He's the dude telling me what to play
Right.
on the gig. So yeah, him and Ian Neville, also in Dumpster Funk, outstanding guitar player, one of the most underrated funky guitar players I know, and
Mm-hmm.
and cool dude, and then Ivan, of course.
Yeah.
So those guys, yeah. So that
You're basically playing with the Hall of Fame of New Orleans.
I guess you could say that. Well, the cool thing about New Orleans is like all the touring bands that you like from New Orleans, they're all around when they're home. So like the guys in Galactic for example. Like now that they bought Tipitina's, they're really making an effort to connect with people in the music scene. So their saxophone player, Ben Elman, he produced the last Chawa album that got Grammy nominated. So that was fun working with him. And Ben is another one of those guys outside of Galactic. He's produced Tank and the Bangos, the Soul Rebels, Trombone Shorty,
Right.
the Revivalist. So he's kind of the dude when it comes to producing in town.
I'm trying to do his look right now. And I'm Benji, so I'm like, I'm just going to show up in New Orleans and be like, I'm Ben, see if it gets me anywhere.
Yo, you guys would hit it off. I'm
Yeah.
like,
all right,
yeah.
well, next time he comes to Detroit.
Yeah. Okay,
me,
I might have to make that happen. When they play Detroit, we'll.
all right, I'm going to hold you to that. Tell me a little about Chawa and touring Europe and Grammy nomination, and how did that all happen? How was that experience for you?
Okay, so there's like, I guess there's a lot of layers and a backstory to that. So, when a few months after I moved to New Orleans, I had connected, or I guess right when I moved to New Orleans, I connected with a friend from Detroit who was going to Tulane here. His name was Aaron Cohen, and I was playing in his band. He goes by Aaron Benjamin's his stage name, and played on his album. And he's been a good friend. You know, I met him when I was 12 in Detroit. We had the same guitar teacher, and we didn't really reconnect until I was moving down here. And he knew I was moving to New Orleans. He reached out. He said, "Hey, when you come down to New Orleans, you can play in my band." I said, "Sure, great. That sounds fun." So did that. His trumpet player, a guy named Aurelian Barnes, had been working with Chawa. And Chawa, the Joe Gelini, the leader of Chawa, called up Aurelian like on a Tuesday night. He said, "Hey, like we're going on a little weekend run in 2 days. My guitar player backed out. Do you know anyone who could do it?" So he recommended me. I get a call, and he sent me the music, and wasn't really expecting that I was gonna like learn all the music and know it in 2 days notice.
It's a tall order.
Yeah, but like I take like doing my homework for gigs pretty seriously. So I showed up and I like knew the whole set, and he was like, basically then a month later, the same thing happened. "Hey, guitar player backed out. Can you do this run?" I said, "Sure." Then like a month later, he's like, "All right, like here's all the tour dates. Like you're
in. Awesome.
Yeah. So we started doing. I played my first jazz fest with them, which the funny thing is now it would be Jazz Fest right now in New Orleans. So that's really sad that can't be enjoying that, because I don't. Have you been to Jazz Fest?
I haven't.
Yeah, it's like musical Disney World. Like for 12 days.
Yeah.
Like nonstop music, like from 11 a.m. to like 6 a.m.
Yeah. I'm going to embarrass you probably for a moment. I hope you don't mind, but we're talking about doing your homework, and it reminded me, I believe it was the Brando tribute show that we did in Pontiac at Magnetic Recording. Yeah. And we kind of put it out there for all the musicians to come, and everybody said yes. But in the email that I sent out, I asked musicians if they would come a little bit early, because I didn't want to hire people to help us load in and load out. So if anybody can come a little early and help us set this up, we'd appreciate it. And you showed up early, you helped us set up, and then you pulled out your book bag and was like, now that we're done, I got about 45 minutes. I got to do my homework right now. You were still in high school at the time. And I was like, oh my God, these, everybody's hanging around drinking beers and, just doing their thing pre-show. And you were in the corner doing your homework. And I was like, this kid is the most serious musician that I know. And you reminded me of that. And it's awesome. It's great. So, the world has changed. You mentioned Jazz Fest, is not happening right now. The world's changed. I've seen you post a couple of live streams. Tell me what's going on in COVID world as a musician for you. How you staying sane? How you staying in front of your fans and the people that pay you?
Yeah. So there's obviously been none of that. The last gig I played March 14th at the Maple Leaf. So that was, and there was a real weird eerie vibe in the crowd. Like everyone knew it was like the last one. And there was like a solid crowd, but not like what you would normally expect at the Maple Leaf with the kind of lineup that played. And then I played a church service the next morning, and then it was just like done.
Right.
Like this turned into a ghost town. And anyone who knows New Orleans, it's like New Orleans, there's just always people hanging out. Sundays we're used to second lines and, having crawfish boils and just hanging out, especially now when the weather's nice. And that just kind of
Tell me about the Bill Withers tribute live stream that you did.
Okay, I guess Bill Withers has always been an influence, so I decided it would be appropriate to do a little tribute to him. So I played some of his songs that I had already kind of had in my repertoire, like "Use Me" and "Kissin' My Love," and then worked out a couple more of his songs that I guess I had always liked and wanted to do, like "Grandma's Hands," "Who Is He and What Is He to You." So did that on Instagram and donated half of the proceeds to the International Sports and Music Foundation, if I'm saying it right. And they provide access for kids from underprivileged backgrounds worldwide who are interested in playing sports or music. Might be buying a kid a tennis racket or a guitar.
Yeah, that's awesome. I will put a link in this for that foundation as well as to your PayPal or Venmo, so that people can help support you while you're going through this and sheltering in place from the storm. What are you doing to stay sane? What are you doing to stay, keeping your mind and your fingers occupied?
So I've been, writing some music, recording a little bit. There's a musician I've been working with a bit named Jordan Anderson, who's kind of been creating a buzz around New Orleans, and I'm helping kind of produce his stuff. So we're in the pre-production stages, doing some demos. So that's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he's super energetic, I want to I don't want to say Elton John, but maybe Elton John meets Robert Plant.
Okay.
Just super energetic front man, but and super cool dude. So it's been cool to work with him. Um, let's see, what else? Been doing, so my girlfriend's like, she's a fitness enthusiast, so she got me into doing workout videos.
Okay.
Um, yeah, she
What
so
kind of workouts are you doing?
like it's full body through Peloton.
Okay.
So
Fun.
uh
Fun.
yeah, so trying to get my workout on. Uh what else? We've been doing some puzzles,
Okay.
um cooking, making new foods, and I started delivery driving for Postmates.
Okay.
Uh
What is Postmates?
Kind of like Uber Eats,
Okay.
same thing. So um
Okay.
yeah, so that keeps me like out of the house a little bit, um you know, somewhat interacting with people
Right.
and making a few bucks. And then like fortunately, um there have been a couple foundations that have helped out musicians.
Great.
So gotta show some love to the Jazz and Heritage Foundation, who puts on Jazz Fest. Um,
Okay.
they helped out a lot of the New Orleans musicians with grants. There's the New Orleans Small Business Association.
Okay.
They help us out, and Music Cares,
Hmm.
which affiliated with the Recording Academy, who does the Grammys. Um, they help us out, so that's been a blessing.
Great. Well, I appreciate you spending a couple minutes with me. Just talking about staying sane and staying healthy. I hope you and your girlfriend stay healthy in New Orleans, and I hope your parents stay healthy here in Detroit. I bump into your mom and dad every once in a while. It's always good to see them. So your dad and I work out at the same gym, so I see him every once in a while. So, but Ari, it's great to speak with you, and I'll let you know when this is up, and hope to see you soon.
Sounds good. Yeah, man.
I'll talk
How's
about
your
it.
family?
My family's healthy. I can't complain. Thank God. My girls are wonderful. They're healthy. My wife is, taking care of the family like a champ. And as I was telling you before, the thought process that got this rolling is my younger daughter Ella, who has Coffin-Cyrus syndrome and agenesis of the corpus callosum. So she loves music, and so we've been playing music, throughout the day. It's kind of like I'm in the middle of a meeting and my daughter just walks in and she's like, we're going to sing a song now, and so we've been playing a lot of music together. I think I've played more guitar in the last 6 weeks than I have in the last 6 years.
Wow.
But that's a wonderful thing. And so I've been posting daily music videos, and just my mind started turning, and it's turning into this what I'm calling shelter in place from the storm. So hopefully we continue to stay healthy and we'll get through to the other side of this.
Absolutely.
So, all right, man, we will talk soon. Thank you.
Thank you.